How you doing? Cool. Try to stay cool out here. Feel me? What's up for y'all, man? We about to get this car talk started. All right, we gotta get in the car. Ah! All right. Making this video, I'm making this like super quick, right? I'm making this video, and today I'm talking about this subject that I've seen a lot, but I'm talking about it now because making a video about it now because I just seen this shit on my Twitter feed and I had an opinion on it. So I've seen a lot lately of people who say a lot of shit along these lines, right? And I'm using this semi-verbatim from one of my homegirls on Twitter who recently just said this shit. And basically, it's people aren't allowed to complain about not being in a relationship when there are other individuals that they know want to with them for real. And my biggest gripe with this conversation is people aren't obligated to date you just because you like them. Like, nobody is obligated to date you just because you found them attractive and you wanted them and you knew in your mind that you would have, been with them the long way. Nobody is obligated to do that, right? You are not the only person on the planet, right? You don't own anybody just because you like them. Like, that's never how it works, right? So basically what I saw, right, if I'm paraphrasing, was niggas need to stop crying on this app about not being in a relationship when they act dumb as when they have the opportunity in front of them, right? So my response to that was, it's like, but everybody you come into contact with isn't qualified to date you, right? Like, and that's facts. Right, that goes for other aspects of your life. Like, everybody you come into contact with isn't qualified to be your friend just because you know them, right? You meet somebody at work and y'all have a cool work relationship. That doesn't mean we qualified to take that relationship outside of the workplace. It's like, I love my coworkers, like, they all cool, but any job I've ever had, I don't really mess with my coworkers outside of the workplace like that often, right? That works for relationships. It's like, just because somebody likes you doesn't mean that they're qualified to date you. It's like that, like, the logic behind that is, it basically sounds like if you have a checklist, right, that on somebody that you like, it's like, well, they want somebody that does this, they want somebody that does this, and they want somebody that does this, right? You mark off that checklist, right? It's like, so you thinking in your mind, oh, okay, I'm cool, I'm in there. Whether it's somebody that does this intellectually, spiritually, somebody this physically, this sexually. It's like, I can do that, boom, you knock off that checklist, then y'all hang out, right? For that person, you might check off the stuff on that checklist, and still there's something that's missing, right? And that's exactly my point. Everybody that you come across is not qualified to date you just because they have specific qualities and characteristics that they think should put them in a category of, I should be messing with this person, right? Don't entitle yourself to me just because you like me, right? Because if you're like me, that's the quickest way for somebody to get their feelings hurt, is to assume that, well, I'm like this, and well, Freddie likes this, and I'm like that, and he likes this, and I'm like that, so we'd be perfect together. No! Don't ever do that, right? If you somebody that's honest with yourself, you can be honest about, if we were to actually date, it wouldn't last that long because I know I wouldn't be faithful to you. I wouldn't want to be faithful to you, right? And there are people out there like that. They're honest. Like, if we got into a relationship, I wouldn't want to be faithful to you. Not that I would cheat on you. It's just, I know it wouldn't last that long because I would still want to talk to other people. And if I'm not willing to cut off other people for you, why would we get into a relationship? Again, that's just my 2 cents on that, right? It's like, nobody is obligated to mess with you just because you like them, right? It's like, not taking anybody serious isn't them playing games. It's just that you can run across a lot of people that have good qualities and characteristics that would make great girlfriends or boyfriends, but they're not your person. You can go BS your way into any relationship. That doesn't mean it's made to work. It's easy to go get into a relationship. It's hard enough to find your person. But let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment, right? Let me know what y'all feeling. Let me know what y'all want to see in the next video. I'll get back at
Some real
you.
yard shit. Coming on me like this.
No one girl can satisfy me. Me need more fuel for the lime green. Me no one girl can deny me. Me no see me change shiny but white free. Me a controller, young soldier, once over. Any man at this.